What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Mostly Wrong Opinions. I'm Tyrone. That is Devin. Wait! Before we get into this movie review, can you do us a favor? Hit that subscribe button right down there. Now, let's get into this film that's out in the theaters right now. Strange World.
Wait, I didn't watch that movie.
Oh, you didn't?
Don't waste my motherfucking time!
What else have you watched lately?
I watched that Guardians movie.
How long is it?
44 minutes.
All right.
I just saw on the calendar that right now on Earth, it's almost Christmas time.
We don't have time for trivialities like Christmas.
But Peter's so sad about Gamora being gone.
This film picks up where the crew is, they're like in charge of that station.
Nowhere.
The Nowhere station, and they're making sure everything's running right, running good in there. And it's around Christmas time on Earth.
Right.
Drax and Mantis wants to bring some holiday joy around the Nowhere, but they also want to direct it towards Quill because he misses Christmas.
Yeah, Peter Quill's been like moping around and he really hasn't been himself, and they're like, let's cheer him up and let's bring that old stupid Earth tradition, up to Nowhere called Christmas. And I suppose a lot of the humor is supposed to come from the fact that these are aliens and they've got no clue what Christmas is.
Sure don't.
So they're trying to figure out what is Christmas. So they're like, okay, so Drax told me that you said this, so this must mean that. So they're all they've got Christmas confused.
Everything I know about Christmas, I learned from Rocket, who learned from Cosmo, who learned from Kraglin, who learned from you.
They're like, oh, I think Santa Claus is like some sort of, he got like a gun or something, he's like, they're all confused about it.
He might just roast your chestnuts with his powerful flamethrower.
No, he doesn't have a flamethrower.
So I think that's where a lot of the humor is supposed to come from.
They say, oh, well, what do we get Quill for Christmas? And then their idea is to steal Kevin Bacon, the real actor Kevin Bacon.
A callback to where Peter Quill describes Kevin Bacon as some sort of a hero or something like that,
What do you do with it?
Do? Nothing. You listen to it. Or you can dance.
I'm a warrior and an assassin. I do not dance.
Really? Well, on my planet, there's a legend about people like you. It's called Footloose.
And they're like, he must be a great man. So let's bring this hero here to Nowhere and to cheer up Peter Quill.
Yeah, and then the comedy comes out and throughout the film where Drax is acting silly. Comedy. Where Drax is acting silly and Mantis is acting silly, and they go down to Earth and they scare the living daylights out of Kevin Bacon.
So when we saw the runtime, I was like, okay, 45 minutes. I'm like, that's short. I'm like, you can't really pad out a 45-minute thing, I was wrong. You can pad 45 minutes out pretty strong because this thing has not just one musical number, but two. And and they play the songs from beginning to end. So I was like, yo, that's boring. I was really shocked at how boring that is.
If you don't leave milk and cookies out, he will put dung in your socks. It is Christmas time.
Now, to be fair, I do know, and we talked about this before, that these Christmas movies and Christmas specials are supposed to be kind of corny, right? So I'm like, all right, the corniness is fine, but I didn't find the music particularly entertaining, and there's a lot of it. And I think the people who played the instruments was a real band called the Old 97s or something like that. I was not particularly impressed.
You say that these Christmas movies are supposed to be corny. But
Yeah,
there are
corn.
Christmas movies that are corny but entertaining. We just reviewed one last week. Christmas Story Christmas. Corny as hell. But we liked it.
Yeah.
Now that is because, that's a full feature film.
Do you know what this kind of felt like? And I'm thinking about it. It kind of felt like a really long post-credit stinger. That's kind of what this felt like.
Boom.
It had the same utility as a post-credits thing or two, where I find Marvel's post-credit stuff ends up moving the plot forward more than like the actual movies sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
And for this, we actually learned things about the Guardians that no movie has ever touched upon yet. And there are new characters that are introduced here, like Cosmo. Like we saw the dog in other movies, but now the dog.
What if?
Yeah, exactly. But now the dog talks and it's got a voice, and it seems is it a member of the Guardians? Like I'm like, oh, that's a change. And then Groot is humongous now. He looks like he's been like lifting weights or something. I'm not into this design of Groot. I think he looks really bad. I'm like, oh.
Did he look kind of practical in this?
Yeah, it looked like a guy in a suit, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
instead of like a CGI Groot.
Yeah, it looked bad. I didn't like it. His proportions were strange, and he's like, I don't know. I just wasn't into it. But I thought Chris Pratt looked bored. Like he'd taken a Xanax or something before that. He was like sleepy or something, man.
He looked so bored. He was like, all right, let me get back to the booth so I can get back to Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was exhausted from trying to carry Jurassic Park and Guardians of the Galaxy and Super Mario Brothers on his back. He was tired, boy. Let that man rest.
Should we just go into the spoiler of what the secret is of what Mantis has?
Yeah, let's go right in.
Mantis is Quill's sister.
Right. So I'm like, whatever, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm watching it. I'm like, all right, fine. They're brother and sister. Now what? Does this change anything?
Because what was where was the revelation that we had in this short film of how she found out that Ego was her daddy?
Good question. Has she always known, or I don't know.
I think I gotta go back and watch.
So like this movie was padded out, but there's stuff that they needed to explore. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
So y'all were wasting your time with the old 97s playing all their music, and even Kevin Bacon gets up there and sings a song. But I'm like, yeah, you should sit down so we can explain some of this stuff.
Well, it may be padded out wrong where they need to explain the stuff in this film, or Marvel is suffering from this. You remember what we did 2 films ago thing?
Right,
you got to remember that for this film.
Painful.
You know?
Painful.
Always focusing towards the future instead of focusing on the film that you're in.
Painful.
Good gosh, Marvel.
I guess this is like some sort of a hybrid, like some sort of like a bridge between Guardians 2 and Guardians 3 maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is Guardians of the Galaxy's 2.5 holiday special.
Yeah, 2.5, you know, like Lion King 2.5.
Like Lion King 2.5.
Or wait, 1.5. It was Lion King 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
When I was watching it, I almost turned it off. Not because I didn't like it, but because it made me want to play the Guardians of the Galaxy game again. I'm like, oh yeah, that game was fun. I like the game. I like running around in nowhere, and the dog was there, and you know, Mantis is almost all these characters are in the game. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's go play the game. And I'm like, oh wait, no, I shouldn't. I should probably finish this. You know, so that's not good either, right? When I'm thinking of other things, I'm like that I should be doing. You know, I wasn't watching the Batman, being like, I should go watch The Dark Knight. No, I was caught up in the movie. Speaking of Batman, they mentioned Batman in the holiday special. I'm like, oh, this is like the second time they've mentioned a DC property in a Marvel property. Like they did that for Eternals, where someone mentioned Superman. But not only did they mention Batman, they mentioned Bruce Wayne. Not that they'll ever do this, but it kind of hurts, like a crossover. Like, you know, if they ever do a crossover, do they know each other's? Doesn't matter.
James Gunn is now going to be the head of WB over there. So if he already knew that he was going to be the head of WB and he wrote that in the script, he was like, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Because
he probably didn't, because he was like a second or third chance option for them. So, and they hired James Gunn. So
he was like, nah, I can't do this.
I got things to do.
I gotta go.
Yeah, this looks like a mess. And he like fades away. It's like that meme.
Yeah. I just want to go ahead and get to the rating of this thing now. Okay. Try to be just like the other directors. Don't. They had a whole bunch of CGI, had a whole bunch of musical stuff going on in it. Kevin Bacon is actually in a band.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that band sings a song.
I don't see the purpose for this film or this short film or special or whatever this wants to be. They did have a pretty cool callback there with Rocket when he got the arm of Bucky. He's like, Bucky's arm.
Right.
So, D+.
D+. Okay. Does that D+ stand for like Disney Plus?
Yes.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
Your D+ is funny, but I think it's probably better than a D+. I think we're in C- territory here. Yeah, that's not much better than a D+, but a little bit better. And that's just because
D+ still passing.
yeah, true. You still passed. That's true. Didn't fail.
Yeah.
I think it's because mostly I was bored. I didn't care for the musical numbers. I expected them to do more with this Kevin Bacon idea. But Kevin Bacon, while he's there and, he acts, I guess, relatively normally, it's like, all right, is there anything else going on? No? All right. And then this movie seems to highlight Mantis, a character that I think has not had, like, time in the spotlight at all for the movies. Yeah. I feel like this is the most I've heard her speak in all the Guardians movies. And not only that, she had some sort of revelation that she was like blood related to Peter Quill. And why is Drax wearing a shirt? Doesn't he have sensitive nipples?
Drax, why aren't you wearing one of Rocket's arrow rigs?
It hurts.
Hurts.
I have sensitive nipples.
My nipples hurt. Oh, goodness me.
Or at least there should have been a joke about it, right? I thought of a joke. I'm like, yo, he should talk about how maybe he's got some tape over him. I don't know. I'm thinking too hard.
Star tape. Star tape with glitter, baby.
That's it.
With tassels.
Tassels. I don't want to see that horror stuff. I'm good on that one.
You know who else I forgot was in here? Karen Gillian was in this, but
yeah, she was like in the background looking embarrassed. Ultimately, I thought this movie was forgettable and a wasted opportunity. I feel like they could have done more at this. I expected them to do more with it. But then I felt foolish for expecting that because what we got was a lot more obvious, right?
Yes.
So I should have expected what we got, but I guess I had higher expectations for it.
Right. Do you recommend this film, man?
I do not.
Short film. I also do not recommend this short film. I recommend you watch Mostly Wrong Opinions every Wednesday and Friday at 3 p.m. All right. Okay. What's more important, do you recommend this? All right. Get in the comments and let us know what you think. If you do or if you don't, it doesn't matter. But I gave this film a D+. Devin was nice and gave it a C-.
It's the holiday season.
Yeah, bah humbug. That is our review for Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Hey, you sitting right there drinking your eggnog. You're awesome. All right, please.
So specific.
Put it down for a second and help our subscriber count go up, and up because it's been going up. Hit that subscribe button right down there, man. It loves you, and we love you too. If you did enjoy this rating and review for this film, please hit that thumbs up. Or you can hit that thumbs down, whichever you choose. It is your opinion. Just remember one thing, it is mostly wrong. We'll see you later in another video.